In this video, we will see some of the important questions on pointers in C programming. Question number 1. What do you mean by a pointer variable? How is it initialized? In C, a pointer is a type of variable that stores the memory address of another variable. A pointer is declared by specifying the data type of the variable it points to, followed by an asterisk. For example, int star ptr, it is a pointer to an integer. Float star fptr, it is a pointer to a float. Char star cptr, it is a pointer to a character. Initialization. There are several ways to initialize a pointer in C. First method is directly with the memory address of a variable. For example, here x is an integer variable. Int star ptr equal to ampersand x. Here the ampersand operator returns the memory address of x and it is stored in the variable ptr. Setting it to null. By setting a pointer to null, you ensure that it does not point to any valid memory location until you explicitly assign it one. For example, int star ptr equal to null. Here ptr is set to null. Next question. Explain how pointers can be passed to functions in C. In C, pointers can be passed to functions just like any other variable. When you pass a pointer to a function, you are effectively passing the address of the variable the pointer is pointing to. This allows the function to modify the original data in the calling function rather than a copy of the data. You can pass a pointer as a function argument just like any other variable. For example, here the modified value, it takes a pointer to an integer as the formal argument. Then star p equal to 100. Here it is dereferencing the pointer to modify the value it points to. Using the function. To use the function, you would pass the address of the variable. So here we are calling this modify value with address of the variable x. So in the function, the variable x has been modified to 100. So now we print x, 100 will be printed. Here the modify value function changes the value of x indirectly by modifying the value the pointer is pointing to. Differentiate between char name square bracket and char star name in C. Char name is an array that allocates memory and can hold a string, while char star name is a pointer that just points to a string's location in the memory without allocating space for the string itself. Differentiate between address operator and indirection operator. Address operator. It is used to obtain the memory address of a variable, and it is placed before a variable and returns the memory address of that variable. For example, here x equal to 5. In star ptr is equal to ampersand x. Ampersand x get the address of x and store it in the variable ptr. Indirection operator star. It is used to access the value at memory address, that is to dereference a pointer. So the pointer has an address as its content and the value at that address is obtained through this indirection operator. It is placed before a pointer variable and returns the value stored at the memory address the pointer is pointing to. For example, here x equal to 5 in star ptr is equal to ampersand x. That means ptr contains the address of x and or we say that ptr is pointing to the variable x. Int y equal to star ptr. So here star ptr gets the value at the address stored in ptr. Ptr contains the address of x and the value at the location is the value of x itself. So that means now y will be 5. The value of x is 5. That 5 will be stored in the variable y. With a suitable example, explain how does a pointer points to another pointer. A pointer can point to another pointer, and this is often referred to as pointer to a pointer or double pointer. To declare a pointer to pointer, we use two asterisks. For instance, if you have a pointer to an integer in star ptr, then a pointer to this pointer would be declared as int star star pptr. Let us initialize a simple integer, a pointer to that integer, and then a pointer. Here int x equal to 5 is just an integer variable. In star ptr is equal to ampersand x, a pointer pointing to integer x. In star star ptr is equal to ampersand ptr, a pointer pointing to the pointer ptr to the point. To access the value of x using the double pointer, we have to use double star ptr. It dereferences the double pointer to get the value of x. Next question, list the advantages of using pointers in C. Dynamic memory allocation. Allocate memory at runtime, allowing for flexible data structures. Efficiency. Direct memory access can avoid data copying and improve speed. Function flexibility. Modify data directly using pass-by reference, allowing functions to alter multiple data points. Essential for building structures like linked list, trees, and graphs. Efficient array traversal and operations using pointer arithmetic. Pointers are the foundation for string manipulation in C. Useful in system and embedded programming through direct hardware access. Function can return multiple results via pointers. Enables the creation of structures that can adjust their size as needed. That is dynamic data structures. These are the advantages of using pointers in C. Next question, explain the use of indirection operator with the help of an example. The indirection operator star is used in C to dereference a pointer, which means to obtain the value stored at the memory address the pointer is pointing to. For example, suppose we have an integer x and a pointer ptr pointing to x, int x equal to 10, int star ptr is equal to ampersand x. Here ptr holds the address of x. Now, if you want to access the value stored in x using the pointer ptr, you would use the indirection operator. Int y is equal to star ptr. Dereference the pointer to get the value of x. After this line, y will hold the value 10, which is the value of x. What is a null pointer? A null pointer in C is a pointer that does not point to any memory location or object. It is a value of 0 and it represents the concept of no address or no reference. The main purpose of using a null pointer to indicate that the pointer is not intended to point to a readable or writable memory location. Using a null pointer is essential for several reasons. Initialization. It is a good practice to initialize pointers to null if you are not assigning them a valid memory location immediately. This helps to prevent accidental misuse of the pointer. Safety. Before dereferencing a pointer, checking if it is null can prevent segmentation fault or undefined behavior. Sentinel values. In many data structures such as linked list, a null pointer can be used to mark the end of the list. Example, in star ptr is equal to null. If ptr is equal to null, printf the pointer is not pointing to any memory location. How do you declare a pointer variable? What is the significance of data type included in the declaration? In C, a pointer variable is declared using the asterisk symbol. The general syntax for declaring a pointer is datatype star pointer name, where datatype specifies the type of data to which the pointer will point and the pointer name is the name of the pointer variable. Example, if you want to declare a pointer that can point to an integer, you would write int star ptr. Here ptr is a pointer to an integer. Significance of the data type. Memory size. It determines how many bytes are accessed when the pointer is dereferenced. Arithmetic scaling affects how the pointer behaves in arithmetic operation, helps the compiler to ensure you are using the pointer with the right kind of data. Correct interpretation. Ensure data is read as the intended type. In short, the data type in a pointer declaration helps in correctly accessing and interpreting memory. What are array of pointers? How do you declare an array of pointers? An array of pointers is a data structure that holds multiple pointer values. Each element in this array is a pointer and it can point to a value or a set of values of specific data type. How to declare an array of pointers? The general syntax to declare an array of pointers is data type star array name within bracket size, where data type specify the type of data the pointer will point to, array name the name of the array, and size the number of pointers the array will hold. For example, an array of 5 integer pointers. In star, in PTRS it's the name, and within the bracket we give 5, the size of the array. With a suitable example, explain how pointers can help in changing the content of a single dimensional array passed as an argument to a function in C. When an array is passed to a function in C, what is really passed is a pointer to the first element of the array. This means that if you modify the content of the array through this pointer inside the function, the changes will reflect in the original array outside the function as well. Let us look at an example where we will double the values of all the elements in an array using pointers. Here in the main we have got an array named numbers, and length it hold the size of the array. The original array is printed and then we call the double array value function. The array is passed and also its length. So inside this, since we are passing the name of the array, we are passing the address of the first element of the array. Here the formal argument should be a pointer. So here using this pointer arr plus I star, we are dereferencing that location and then multiplying with 2, and the value is stored in the same location. So that means the original array content is changed. After that, when you print the array, the modified array will be printed. That means each element will be doubled. This is the original array and this is the modified array. In the above code, we declared an array numbers in the main function. We pass this array to the double array value function. Inside double array value, the array is received as a pointer arr. We then use pointer arithmetic star arr plus I to access and modify each element of the array. The original array numbers in the main function was modified, which demonstrates how pointer can be used to modify the content of an array passed to a function. Write a function in C which takes the address of the single dimensional array and the number of numbers stored in the array as argument and stores the numbers in the same array in reverse order. Use pointers to access the element of the array. So we have got a function reverse array. The formal argument is a pointer to integer and then it is size. The starting address is stored in the variable pointer variable start ptr, and the ending address of the ending last element is stored in the variable end ptr. So we taken a temporary variable. While start ptr less than end ptr, we swap the values pointed by the start ptr and end ptr. Temp equal to start ptr is equal to end ptr, star end ptr is equal to temp. Now we increment the start pointer and decrement the end pointer. So inside the loop again that elements are swapped. So this is the main function. we print the original array, and then the array and its length is passed to the reverse array, and after that we print the reversed array. What are the arithmetic operators that can be applied on pointers? In C, the following arithmetic operation can be applied to pointers. Increment advances the pointer to the next item of its base step. For example, in ARR of 5, in star p equal to ARR, p plus plus moves to the next integer in the array. Decrement moves the pointer back to the previous item of its base step. For example, int ARR of 5 in star p is equal to ampersand ARR of 4. That means p now points to the last element in the array. P minus minus means it moves to the previous integer in the array. Addition, add an integer value to the pointer, effectively moving it to forward by the given number of items of the base step. Here str, it is a character array. Star p equal to str. P points to the first element of str. P equal to p plus 5. Advances the pointer by 5 characters. Subtraction. When subtracting an integer value, it moves the pointer backward by the given number of items of the base step. Here p equal to p minus 3. P points to the fifth element. ARR of 5, that means it is the sixth element of the array. P minus 3, it moves the pointer back by 3 integers. When subtracting one pointer from another, it gives the number of items of its base step between two pointers. This is valid only if both pointers point to the element of the same array. Here star P1, it points to the address of the fourth element, and star P2, it points to the address of the ninth element. P2 minus P1, the difference will be 5. Comparisons. Pointers can be compared using the relational operators less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to determine the relative position of the items they point to in memory. Such comparisons are meaningful mainly when the pointers point to the elements within the same array. Here P1 points to the address of the fourth element and P2 points to the address of the sixth element if P1 less than P2. So here this will be true because P1 points to an earlier element than P2. Write a C program to print the element of an array in reverse order using pointers. PTR points to the last element, then PTR minus minus move the pointer backward in the array. Write a C program to reverse a string using pointers. First we enter the string and the string is read using fgetC. Start points to the beginning of the string and end points to the last element in the string. If start less than end, then swap the characters. Then start is incremented by 1 and end is decremented by 1. Finally, print the reversed string. Differentiate between array of pointers and pointer to an array. Array of pointers declares multiple pointers in a single array. For example, here in star ARR of 10, it is an array of 10 pointers to int. Char star str ARR of 5, an array of 5 pointers to char. It is often used to store addresses of multiple entities of the same type. For example, an array of character pointers can be used to store addresses of multiple strings. It allocates memory for the pointers, not for the entities they point to. For example, int star ARR of 10 only allocates memory for 10 pointers and not for 10 integers. Each element of the array is a pointer and can be used to point to specific location in the memory. Pointer to an array. It declares a single pointer which points to the entire array in star p of 5. Since this array subscript has got higher precedence than pointer, we have to put it inside the bracket or parenthesis. When we put it inside the parenthesis, the star gets the higher precedence. So it becomes a pointer variable. It is a pointer to an integer of 5 arrays. It is useful when you want to point to whole arrays, especially in functions where whole arrays are passed and you want to catch them with a single pointer. This pointer takes up memory for storing one address, the starting address of the array it points to. The array itself must be declared and allocated elsewhere. This pointer points to the entire array and pointer arithmetic on it will move it by the size of the entire array. For example, here nums it is declared as an array, then p equal to ampersand now. Now p it is a pointer to an integer array. In summary, an array of pointers is essentially a collection of pointers where each pointer can point to a value. On the other hand, a pointer to an array is a single pointer that points to an entire array and its type reflects the size and type of array it can point to. Using pointers, write a function that receives a character string and a character as argument and delete all occurrences of this character in the string. The function should return the corrected string with no holes. Also write the main function to invoke the above function. So here this function should receive a string and a character. So it is declared as a pointer to a string. Read PTR, it is a pointer to for reading the pointer for reading the string, and write PTR it is a pointer for writing the string. Both points to the string variable str. While star read PTR, if star read PTR not equal to ch, star read PTR means it points to the value at the address. If the character is not the one to be removed, star write PTR is equal to star read PTR. Write it to another right pointer's current location. Then the right pointer is incremented by 1. If we write, then the right pointer is incremented. In both the cases, read pointer should be incremented and then go to the next character. Finally, to the right pointer's location, we attach a null string to end the string and then the string is returned. The value that we return is string, so that is why we have written char star as the return type of the function. Now in the main function, we enter the input string and the character to be removed. And the input string and the character to be removed is passed to the remove character and then the modified string is printed. Write the syntax for declare a pointer to a function that accepts 3 integer arguments and return a float pointer quantity. Declare a function that accepts 2 integer arguments and returns a pointer to long integer. Declare a pointer to a function that accepts 3 integer arguments and returns a floating point quantity. So it is a pointer to function. So before the function name, you have to put the star and put the function name inside the pointer name inside the bracket. Then the return type of the function is float and it accepts 3 integers. 3 integers you have to put it inside the parenthesis and put the semicolon. Here the float denotes that the function returns a floating point value. Function pointer is a declaration of a pointer to a function. The asterisk denotes it is a pointer and the parenthesis around the pointer name indicate that it is a function pointer. Int specify that the function takes 3 integer arguments. Declare a function that accepts 2 integer arguments and returns a pointer to a long integer. It returns a pointer to long integer, so it should be long star. Then the function name and it takes 2 argument or into int argument.